So finally, Steve, we've got a match to watch. I know we've obviously been backwards and forwards what to watch.
Yeah, we've obviously talked about a few matches. Nothing came to mind from myself. I think there might have been a couple, maybe one I was involved with that we can hopefully do another time. But I left it in your capable hands, Liam, and obviously you've chosen this match, which I can't really remember if I'm honest. But maybe seeing it back will jog a few memories.
Yeah, it's 18th of the 8th, 2007. So that's obviously 1PW Invincible. Is that the second year that obviously 1PW obviously started?
So this is after they came back, the first time they came back, really, because we thought it was finished. And I won't bore people with the details. Everybody should read the excellent book that was published many moons ago called All or Nothing, which I believe you've read, Liam. Is that right?
Yep.
I don't know if you've got a copy there just to show. I don't know where my copy is. It's long gone, but it basically goes over the history of 1PW. 1PW came again. This is another show for another day, but it went under in 2007 in the January. So at this point we're in August. So I believe this is the second event back after Resurrection, which I think nobody's ever seen. There's a long story behind that. We could talk about that again another day. Even just doing the history of 1PW, you'd be here forever. But if anybody's unsure what's going on at this point in British wrestling, I suggest you read All or Nothing by James Dixon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great book and stuff like that. I know he was I remember about that book in particular.
Yeah, there's a lot of quotes from me, and it's funny when I look back at it now. There's a lot of stuff I say in that book that I can't remember even saying now. So, yeah, the 2000s in general, and we'll get to it here. It's a bit of a blur for me, I'll be honest with you. I'm in my 20s at this point. This is so 2007. It's a strange year because it feels like it's not that long ago until you look back and then you realize that it is, if that makes sense. So at this point, I will have only just turned 28, I believe, and I know I'm disturbingly thin here, but we'll get to it, I'm sure.
Yeah. So before I watch the match, let's obviously look at the card, shall we? Now, do you remember anything about the card?
Not really, not this one. This is Invincible, isn't it? So there was an Invincible in 2006, which I probably remember better. I do remember the 2 out of 3 falls of this one, but I thought that was the second anniversary event, which would have been in the October. So it's a bit of a blur to me. Go through the matches and I'll see what I can. I mean, looking at it there. Okay, so this is August 2007.
That's the whole card.
Dome. Okay, so at the top, can't really remember this much. These were no guys that were over. Is that right? Yeah, with Burridge, with Max Sloan, and I remember Wade. Yeah, Andy Boy Simmons and Aviv Maya, and yeah, the Iron Lines. I remember them. I don't remember this match much. It's very vague memories are coming back. Pain Inc. I now do quite remember this because versus the Chabs, because they had quite a long feud. And I do remember the incident where I can't remember who it was. I don't think it was Haskins. It might have been Harry Mills who cut his hand on the blade that was used in the match, and there was blood just spurting out everywhere. I don't know if it was this event. Something tells me it was, but I might be wrong. And they sprayed the whole front row. Apologies if it was Mark Haskins. I can't remember, but I do remember somebody getting cut badly. El Ligero and Madman Manson. I mean, that's a comedy match that Madman Manson would have done. Can't really remember that particular match. Iceman and Homicide, vaguely, very vaguely. The openweight title match, I can't remember that at all with Chris Hamrick there. James Wallace, not really. Darkside and Austin Aries. don't remember the match in particular, but I do, for some reason, I do seem to remember talking to Darkside and Austin Aries about it. I'm not sure why. Whatever happened, we could look into that another day. Maybe there's a story there. Okay, so yeah, so the Luke Phoenix and Spud against Damnation. So this was what the sort of main storyline of the promotion at the time, because Damnation were like seen as invaders, because they were the last true 1PW tag team champions. So there was controversy there. It was supposed to be the end of 1PW, and they were basically playing the outsiders in terms of, the belts belonged to us, and they'd kind of invaded on the event, I think, before this, and this obviously led to this match that was thrown out, and I was involved in that storyline, which again is the match I think I said we'd watch another day. And then I just remember this particular match we're going to watch was featured on the DVD cover, if I remember rightly. But for some reason, I had it in my head that it was at the 2nd anniversary. Maybe they had another match. I think they did. I think it's they had an Iron Man match. Now it's coming back. It was a 30-minute Iron Man match, I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong. And then Keenan, I'm trying not to look at the result there as well, Liam. Keenan and Ulf Herman, 1PW title match, again, very vaguely. Can't remember much about this one, being honest with yourself.
Well, interesting. So when I was looking, obviously, a lot of like the reviews and stuff like that, it's very mixed, this actual show. Do you remember much about the review part of this?
No, but I will say, out of all of the ones that happened in 2007, this is probably the one I remember the least. So I imagine this is probably the best match that you've picked from this event. I mean, I'm fairly sure it is, just looking at the results there.
I mean, you've got two great guys. I mean, Nigel McGuinness has got an incredible career. I always said that Greg Burridge never got the love he actually deserved. Is that fair?
I think that's very fair. Yeah, Greg's a good guy, and as we've spoken about before, and you reminded me the other day that he's been on your show as well, and I just remember that the last time 1PW came back and everything 2 years ago, he was. He came up to me to ask for a photo, and it was during the time where I think someone had put on social media, it was trending everywhere that we don't take enough photos. If you remember all of that stuff, and I think speaking to Darren, I think it was we should get a picture, because he is a good guy, and never had a problem with him. Not just saying that, never once had a problem with him. He was always pleasant. Yeah, just a good all-round guy, and obviously his work was very good. Obviously doing his stuntman work with Slash Stallone now and all of that, and doing the Expendables. I remember talking to him about that. I was fascinated, because I'm like every hot-blooded male, I suppose. I'm an action movie fan, so it's really fascinating what he does now, and the Lucha stuff that he's done, and all of the other stuff. So yeah, he's kind of. I don't think he probably gets talked about by the boys in a positive light, though I can't say for sure. So don't quote me on that either. But I think that he might be he might not be on the radar for a lot of modern fans now, unfortunately, which is a big shame.
Absolutely. Now, I want to talk about the Nigel McGuinness magic thing, because I only thought he's been doing it like for a couple of years, but it turns out he's been doing it a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah, as I said to you the other day, I don't think it was this particular event. I might be wrong. For some reason, I've got in my head that it was it was 1PW did a weekend where it was kind of like a homage to like ECW. Obviously, they didn't say anything about ECW, but it was all like the ex-ECW guys, like Sandman was there, Jerry Lynn, Kid Cash, Nunzio. All of those guys. Simon Dean was there, Blue Meanie, I think. And I remember in the hotel coming down, and for some reason, I don't know if we were waiting. I'm pretty sure I drove to that event, so I'd have had the car. So I remember dropping guys off. I'm sure. I don't know if that was the one where I dropped Steve Carino off at the Dome and came back. See, it's all coming back. It's all weird memories now. Bear with me, I'll get to the point. But we were sat at the hotel for some reason, waiting for someone or something, and Nigel was there, and he started doing like card tricks on me and stuff, and he was kind of like, it wasn't quite Darren Brown, but it was more Darren Brown than Paul Daniels. If you get me, it was more like he's trying to work out how people think, and he did clever tricks on me and stuff like that. And he's like, why? He did one trick where he was a bit unsure, and he was asking me later, he's like, why did you pick that? Why did you pick that? And he's trying to sort of suss it out almost himself. So there was an element of magic, but there was also an element of, how we, human interaction is, and how we think and how we act, and what determines what we're going to do and stuff. And he was really good, actually. And I know he's done a few magic shows, and I like I told you the other day, Liam, I just said to him, I said, why are you doing this shit for? I don't need to do magic. And he just said, I don't know.
No, it's great. And like I said, I mean, I follow magic myself as well, so I'd love to pick his brain on that, because it's something I'm really passionate about as well.
If you go get Nigel McGuinness, and obviously he's busy these days with AEW and whatnot, but yeah, he's a good guy too. So I'm looking forward to this, because I really cannot remember this match. I vaguely remember, I'm sure it was the Iron Man that follows this. I don't know if this is some kind of setup to that match, but it'll be interesting to see again.
Absolutely. So anything else you want to add before we click play?
Really, all you're going to hear, I mean, apart from ourselves, you'll hear the voices of Adam Curtis and Dale Mills, who were friends of Stephen Gauntly, who obviously ran 1PW, and they took over doing commentary after it had been the year prior, the sort of first year of 1PW. There was obviously Joe Dombrowski and Anthony Kingdom and all of that before I came along, but for a while it was just myself and Dean Ass. And I thought we had a sort of good thing going. So I was working like double duty. So I was doing commentary and I was doing ring announcing. But one of the things I do remember when it did come back, Stephen Gauntly sort of giving me the choice and saying, what do you want to do? And at this stage, and I'd probably say it now too, I said, look, I'll just ring announce, because I think you should get, somebody else and doing commentary. And Dean wanted to come back, at one point, but I think at this point he didn't, and he had his reasons and stuff. But Dale Mills and Adam Curtis, like I said, I won't dwell on that, but those are the voices that you're hearing.
Absolutely. So then, let's enough rambling on. Let's click play.
Yeah.
Every time you hear that, 1PW.
Gosh, it looks so thin. They've cut my intro as well. They've cut the one fall.
You still got the tie, I see.
Still got the dicky paw. I would never stand like that now as well. And I would never show my cards up, my cue cards off as blatant as that. Unless I make them a thing. I don't think you should show your cue cards.
I was going to say, how were you evolved from obviously watching this now?
Say again? How do you mean?
How have you evolved? Because every time
people
evolve.
Just the way my arms are. I mean, it's kind of gangly. I'm just going. I mean, it's just like an awkward pose. Like, well, I've got my hands in front there. I don't know. I'd put them behind my back now. I'd be like, if I had the cue card, it'd be here at front up. But if I did, I'd try to hide it. I quite like the enthusiasm there. Looked like there was a bit of cut there.
I see you've got more hair here as well.
Yeah. See, I kind of hesitated to look at my cards there. I would never do that now.
As Burridge is coming out, how many years' experience have you actually got at this point?
At this point, it's about yeah, it's only about 3 years. I've been doing it, so yeah. The way I'm stood, I don't like that, and the suit's too big. I think I've just got rid of that one. Only just charity shop.
God, how young does Greg look there?
So Greg, yeah, Greg, Darren, whatever you want to call him, Greg. We'll call him Greg. So you've heard his music. Obviously, it's a knockoff of Blur, isn't it? And Girls Who Like Boys, and you couldn't really get away with this gimmick now. You'd have to tone it down.
No. Not at all.
It's
How popular was Nigel at this 2007?
So people were aware of him through like the Ring of Honor stuff. To be honest, I never quite knew what to make of Nigel McGuinness when I first saw him, because I didn't. I was a bit taken back by the whole, no bumps required gimmick, and just the name, the fact that you're sort of acknowledging bumps like that. I just thought it was a bit. Yeah, I'm a bit too old school for that. You shouldn't be doing that. But he got it over, and obviously, just seeing him wrestle he was known by smarter fans, but there wasn't as many smart fans, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It looks weird in the trunks.
Yeah, I mean, he's young as well. How old is he there? Should look that up.
That's 2007. He's 49, I think, now. So,
is he? Oh,
yeah.
Well, I've been embarrassed, just beyond belief. It's not looking good for your hair right now, but no. We can concentrate on what's going on in the ring.
So, like I say, I can't remember this match at all. I'm sure it's good. Burridge had made a name for himself, obviously, in Doncaster. People are aware of Nigel McGuinness, know him as a good wrestler. Maybe not as a personality. I don't know. I might be completely wrong there, but obviously, Greg is seen more as the sort of gimmick guy, if that makes sense, and he's the sort of 1PW's own, whereas Nigel's the kind of outsider coming in, almost the American coming in at this point, given that he was working a lot over there.
Yeah, and if I remember rightly, around this time as well, is the only three, because there weren't many British talent, obviously, on 1PW's card, were there really?
At this point, it's changed already. I mean, we've just seen the card there. It's predominantly British wrestlers now, because things had to change. I mean, the main event, obviously not, but you've still got Ulf Hermann, who's German.
It's fair to say that the crowd is almost an even 50-50 split here.
I mean, the production obviously is aged. Doesn't look very big there, but I'm pretty sure it's quite full, the Doncaster Dome.
I was going to say, just based on what I'm looking at here, it doesn't look like it's, like when 1PW come back recently, it doesn't look half
No,
as full.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
On his travels,
I think I'm fairly sure it was pretty full though.
And in America, obviously, a big star in Ring of Honor. Held the Pure Wrestling title.
So you hear them talking about Ring of Honor and stuff now, and obviously that's where Nigel was known. And I think we've done, if this is August 2007, I think we'd done the King of Europe Cup in Liverpool, which was a big weekend that we did, where we had people representing wrestling companies from, all the major companies in the world. And the tournament came down to Doug Williams and Nigel McGuinness, and Nigel won that. So, but I ring announced for that whole weekend. If you want to look that up, King of Europe Cup. Only happened once.
Burridge now with a top wrist lock, keeping Nigel on his back.
And is that challenging for you? Do you know what I mean? Doing commentary as well as doing announcing, because you've got to be in two different places.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. But it was a lot of fun as well, because I was doing it for 1PW, and this is when they were considered the biggest indie promotion in the country. Whether that was true or not, a different story. But in terms of talent that they brought in, and getting over with a particular fan, the sort of more smarter hardcore fan base, definitely. There were two in the Doncaster Dome, and and other venues, big venues as well, for that 1 year in 2006.
Went for the hip toss, and a reversal, and the reversal, and another reversal, and both men.
They're gelling really well here. I don't know if this is their first match that they ever had. You might be able to find that out in Cage Match, but
I'll have a quick gander for you. No problem. Let's have a look.
In case they miss something. A nice show of respect there.
but it was, to answer your question, it was just a lot of fun that first year of 1PW, and then sort of reality set in, and there was problems and to do with money and to do with who'd been paid and what was going on, but they always treated me well.
And that's the thing. I mean, every fan who I've spoke to said about 1PW is the product itself. Do you know what I mean? Was really great. Do you know what obviously fans saw? But when it comes obviously behind the scenes, it's a whole different story.
So I don't even know if you would necessarily say as a product that, if it was good or bad or what. I think it was more to do with the fact that you've seen the big stars against the best British talent. And it was like, a major, it just felt like major events, just boom, 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 all super shows. And I don't know if that's the right way to run as well, Obviously, it's been proven it's not sustainable, unfortunately. I wish it was.
And the push through again to another pinfall combination. Just a quick roll through of pins. And again, the seesawing back and forwards.
It's a typical babyface versus babyface match so far. And even Steven.
Neither man being able to keep the other man's shoulders down for 3.
It's been changes with that entrance, man. I'm glad that this looks better than a lot of the earlier events. Excuse me.
So 27th of the 5th, 2006 was the first time Darren and Nigel faced. So it was a year before this.
All right, where was that?
That was Fight Club.
All right, so it was at 1PW.
Yes.
Right, wow.
God, that's a throwback name, Desmond Wolfe. I heard that for years.
Desmond Wolfe, yeah.
Looking for a way out, maybe
and of course, this is before he went to TNA, right? And speaking of Nigel.
Beautiful head scissor takedown there from Burridge. It looked like McGuinness was going for a head and arm suplex.
I loved his push when ROH got the HD net deal and they did the television where he became champion, and I remember speaking to him about the "I'll kill ya" promo where all of his answers were just "I'll kill ya." I can't do it as well as Nigel, you'd have to ask him, but
as we might see later on when he does that headstand on the turnbuckle, he did a mule kick.
I mean, Greg's holding his own here, let's be honest.
He is.
Corner to the other from that mule kick. Tremendous strength in his legs now.
Oh my God. I chuffing 8 adverts. There we go. Yeah, we're going to have to edit all this out, Joe, with all the bloody adverts.
Yeah.
Figure 4 of the legs.
At this point, how many years experience has Greg actually got?
And he's gone for the roll.
I don't know. I don't even know trained Greg, to be honest. Again, that's one for people to look up.
Burridge now wrapped himself up into a little ball.
I think I remember asking him, and I can't remember.
It's a classic old
I honestly can't remember at all.
All I'll say is thank you for Cage Match, right?
Yeah. Although it thinks I'm from Stoke-on-Trent for some reason.
Oh, FWA training school.
There you go. That makes sense.
For a single leg takedown. Nigel saw it coming in to the backside. Again, looking for the single leg.
That's right. I think did Greg work for the academy, which lasted longer than the original FWA?
I remember asking about the FWA, and I'm sure he mentioned something about
that.
Yeah. Look at this. Nice. It's got to be the first fall. Yeah.
And that's the first
wow.
fall.
There you go.
Well, we're going to see a change in tactics now. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the first fall, Darren Burridge. Nigel McGuinness has now got to step it up. Very, very cautious. Yeah, he's just one.
I actually thought Nigel's got more. I'm just looking at Cage Match here. Weirdly, Nigel's got 12 years. Greg's got 23.
comfort of a pinfall advantage.
No, that can't be right, can it?
Can afford to take a few more risks than Nigel McGuinness.
In ring experience, according to Cage Match, it says that Greg Burridge has got 23.
That's definitely wrong.
Nigel's got. Yeah, it's got to be on it.
Unless they're counting the years that he was out and called it a day.
Nigel McGuinness to make a mistake because he's the one that's now
I don't know.
And he may try something he wouldn't normally. He may go for
Seems that way, doesn't it? I don't think they've included his recent stuff either.
I'm looking at ringside and I'm trying to see if I can see some people I recognise here.
Well, the pressure's really on for McGuinness now. He needs to get a pinfall to
that fan just yawns. How disrespectful.
Then he's lost.
I mean, these were long events, you know. That was the other thing with 1PW. Too long.
Choking him now, just driving the air out.
I think this one's roughly about 3-4 hours, I believe.
Yeah, it'll be 4 hours. They all were, but when you were there in person, they just lasted so long.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, we spoke about, you know, like how long shows are. Sometimes when you get to the main event, people are just absolute worn out, and then I think sometimes people have to like leave, you know, to catch like trains and stuff.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
And it looks like he's trying to stretch him over.
Oh, what a submission there is.
Yeah, it's good.
Over into almost a natural angle.
I don't mean to be disrespectful to the guys, but that first fall, I thought it was sort of atypical of good mat wrestling, man. This is more interesting to me. What they're doing here, because I have no idea how they're going to do this fall. Obviously, Nigel's going to win this fall, but he seems to be playing more heel, which is.
In addition to the blood and sweat on covered in, I believe Darren Burridge's teeth.
I mean, the thing is, when I think of Nigel, I think he's one of those people as well where he can work both heel and face.
The first maybe real clear advantage.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Even though McGuinness is a fall
Definitely.
down.
Oh, I think he's too much of a nice guy in a lot of respects now. At this stage, I don't want to boo Nigel.
Poor Nigel.
Maybe the neck possibly becoming the focal point. McGuinness may have just removed an elbow pad. Yeah, I think he just did.
Yeah, so he's playing more heel in this second fall.
Oh,
And he was actually featured quite a lot during 1PW, Nigel. I'm just looking now, do you know what I mean? He was there quite a few times.
the noise of,
Yeah.
of skin and bone on metal was almost
Yeah, he was there a few times.
Now there's a name I've not heard for a while. Trainer, Robbie Brookside.
Well, he was mentioned on SummerSlam the other week, wasn't he?
He was.
Did you hear that? That was good.
I did.
Training Jelly Roll.
Didn't he injure himself as well?
Is there a dislocation there? Is there some kind of separation on muscle?
Who?
I'm sure I read that Jelly Roll's injured his son.
Has he? I mean, it was the first match. Johnny Moss also training Jelly Roll. He got a shout out. Good guy, Johnny.
Again, another person who's been on 1PW a lot.
Yeah, oh, Johnny Moss. Was Johnny Moss on 1PW? Yeah,
I'm sure he was.
Later on, I think he was, wasn't he? Honestly, it's all a blur to me, Liam. It's really strange. 2000s.
I've got to ask you, I mean, how are you feeling now, do you know, watching this match back?
Well, I think my suit looks terrible and it's too big. I'm embarrassed about myself with my gangly arms. The match is fine. The way the building's lit leaves a lot to be desired. But this was, like I said, the 2000s. So, production wasn't as easy as it is now. You can do it on your phone now, but back then you needed to have the stuff and know what you were doing as well. It's a bit dark, isn't it? The crowd, and I like a dark crowd, but this one, just like you said earlier, it seems to make the dome look a bit empty, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't, which is a shame. I quite like the entranceway though. It's simple and effective. It's fine.
I mean, but we see it a while ago with many shows. I mean, how many shows have I been to where you're there, the crowd's absolutely lit and stuff like that, but then when you watch it back, it's like, why does this crowd seem quiet? It's kind of weird.
It is weird, yeah. I mean, it just goes to show how much, if you're on television, if you're a multi-million-dollar company, if you're a, WWE or AEW or whatever, you're just going to have the means. It's just always going to look bad. You're never going to be able to compete with that. But I do like it when you see an indie promotion or a smaller company, and you're surprised by how it looks. That's always good, because I do think, unfortunately, a lot of fans won't watch because of the lack of presentation. That was good. So Greg is fighting back now.
Yep. Burridge winding up, looking to deliver a lariat of his own.
You're right, the crowd doesn't sound so loud here, but it's probably a good lariat there. Probably a result of
quite a few promotions.
Yeah.
How many times can
It's a bit of a shame.
take that lariat? And you could see there he cradled that arm and shoulder and put the remainder of the arm towards the good arm to shift that weight, to try and make sure he couldn't roll out the pin.
A few people have been into that barricade, you can see.
Yeah.
There've been the chavs and
if it does hit this will be one fall apiece. I just got it hooked in, and Burridge is fighting for all his
pinning.
He's managed to break
So I was trying to think of.
Burridge now. Burridge teetering on the second rope, looking for a spinning shoulder block off the top rope.
Smart from Nigel there.
I had a feeling he tried to make that into a European
yeah.
But maybe the arm failed him. He's having difficulty balancing. Well,
you can see where the steps are in the dome. Could have been higher up, maybe.
Burridge and McGuinness.
The hard cam could have maybe been a bit higher up.
I love the fact that you're critiquing it, watching it back.
He doesn't have to take.
Yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about the match.
He's figuring that
match is fine.
He needs to get the second fall and get it in fast. Maybe the injury is a lot more severe.
Recognising a few of the staff now at ringside that are no longer involved in wrestling. Some of us are just suckers and we don't know when to quit. But I was doing a lot more back then as well. I was pretty much out every weekend.
Oh my God!
Was it just for one PW or other promotions as well?
Oh, there was a lot of promotions I was working for back then. I remember going to Skegness a lot.
And I think he's measuring it for again.
What were in Skegness?
Yeah, they used to do events every week for a company called RDW. I was there every Sunday at one point. A few different places all around the country. Obviously, 3CW is doing pretty well at this point. A few different places in the country they're trying to run as well.
This is quite clever because if this is a counter,
a few of the places I was working for, All Action Wrestling, RQW, of course, was the big one in many ways because that was Len Davies who was doing the television for the wrestling channel. So we did the TV tapings for them.
And if I remember rightly, Lendon obviously did some stuff on PW as well.
Yeah, I don't think he was involved in this one. I think this is when a guy called Richard Price, who I know it was his birthday the other day actually, got involved. And I worked for him as well. He did events. I'm trying to remember I'm pretty sure the name of the company was Pro Championship Wrestling, and he did events for like universities. And they were awesome, and no one will ever see them. I mean, those things should have been taped because those buildings were full and so enthusiastic, and it wasn't necessarily wrestling fans; it was just like drunk students, So those were a lot of fun to do. I think I'd done a few All Stars at this point. Obviously, I wasn't a regular, but
it's going to be 3 surely, 2.
Oh, come on, that were 3.
Ah, it was 2.
I think Nigel's beginning to question what he's got to do to put down Burridge as well. The 6th lariat he's taking in this fall.
We haven't talked about the fact that this is for the open weight title, yeah?
I don't think it was, no.
No.
Has just had his head drilled.
I don't think it was. Let me have a look. I can confirm that.
2, 3, and that
he's got it.
Yeah,
Nigel's got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the second fall, Nigel McGuinness. His eyes were open,
a bit of enthusiasm here, Stevie, I noticed.
They were glazed over. Vacant. The final fall.
No, the open weight were James Wallace and Chris Hamrick.
That's right.
Now momentum is, although he's coming from a fall behind and it is 1-1, the momentum.
Oh, what happened to the light in there?
And it's on McGuinness' side. Maybe that was Burridge's thinking and getting that second pinfall in as fast as he could. And taking the risks that he might.
Notice it's the 20-foot ring as well.
But now it's one apiece.
Yes, I know. Yes. Straight away.
It's a bigger ring. Don't get them everywhere.
You just wonder how much more.
Does many promotions use the 20-foot ring, or is it just like a big show type thing? Or
yeah, because it takes up so much room. You don't see it in sort of smaller places. When we've done wrestling in Newcastle, we had the bigger ring for Grand Slam in the bigger venue last year.
I remember when I was there, and do you know when you see like the normal ring you use for obviously Forest Hall compared to that one, you're like, oh my god, there's a massive difference.
Yeah, and it does make a difference on the wrestlers as well. This is one of the reasons as well why indie wrestlers don't, or why in the WWE they want them to go to the performance center and stuff, because they want them to run the ropes on the bigger ring, because they're used to the smaller ring, and it does make a difference. You know, those few extra inches without sounding a bit dodgy. They do make a difference for the wrestlers. They do get tired running those extra few. Oh, look at these lariats, are crazy.
Exactly, it's brutal, man.
I think he's Stan Hansen.
As he delivered the lariat, his forearm landed on Burridge's face. There's such an unbelievable amount of range with the lariat.
There you go. This is awesome chant. This will be in one of the first years. Well, you would have heard such a chant. It wasn't common.
The 7 lariats that Burridge has taken, not to mention the Tower of London.
I know it started as a joke in TNA originally.
For Darren Burridge's sake, I hope he has just bitten his tongue. There's definite blood.
Massive props to the commentary guys here as well. Do you know what I mean? Like the chemistry they both got.
Yeah, Adam and Dale knew each other for years. They were friends. I don't know about now. I know.
A move like a suplex could, at this stage in
like I say, I know they were personal friends of Stephen Gauntly, who ran 1PW.
Taken via the lariats. A move, two. Well, I say almost got the 3. A move like a suplex, normally like a setup maneuver for something else, could easily get you.
No, it's
right. We have that guard. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on. It's a mess, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just looking at that guardrail. Do you know from that close up? Then it absolutely been battered.
Maneuver considering the bulk of the match he's worked on the neck. Wow, he's got it cinched in deep. If you grab. If McGuinness can just.
Right, what are you going to say? Sorry, Steve.
There's a few regulars I noticed in the crowd as well. You know, the 1PW fans that came to every event.
Clawing his way to the rope. It's the only way he's going to get out. There's no way, surely, that he would have the power in his legs to force McGuinness off. It's interesting because it's almost like he's twisting the feet and the knees rather than going for the pressure in the lower back. Yeah, you could be right. Burridge has made the ropes.
I'm wondering if this was Len Davies set up or not. I'm sure that they made up after the original Fallout in 2007. You know what? I can't remember, Liam. It's just looking at that entrance way because it does look familiar, but. I think this second fall and obviously the third fall now have been more interesting than the first fall.
Yeah, they've
developed
the first
quite
one
well.
like completely out of the blue, weren't it?
Yeah. Oh. I mean, that's fine, but it was like the feeling out process. You know, the way you do a 2 out of 3 falls match. Oh. It's pretty good.
Almost what McGuinness was going
Some
for.
good lariats in this. Two.
Oh, just 2. It was so close.
How long's it gone? I don't think they've got long left, right?
The match is 27 minutes 24. I think they're around the 20
really?
minute
Wow. Wow. It's a long time for an undercard match. Even today.
Top wrist lock roll through.
I don't know if that was the longest match on the card because on KA's match it doesn't give you the rest of the times.
Of the match, this could easily get
I think it will have been.
Submission.
Just looking at that card briefly earlier.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. Weaken that lariat arm. It's a move he's gone for time and time again, connected and caused serious damage.
Well done, Adam. He picked up on that. The fact that
Nigel McGuinness has lost his greatest weapon.
And obviously, as well, the fact that he's delivering the lariat, it's going to have some strain on McGuinness's arm. Yep.
Good work on the arm, because obviously he's used that. It's been his most formidable weapon.
Right, what was that one PW thing you was travel up for? One PW what? We spoke about it earlier on.
What was it?
The thing earlier on.
The thing?
What? The one PW show which had like loads of like deathmatch wrestlers and stuff.
Oh, the ECW one?
Yes. What was that one?
It'll have been after this.
I'm just trying to find it just so we can talk about it after.
I don't know what it was called. A weekend of hardcore or something silly like that. I don't know. It'll be in one of the ones that followed this. Ah, here we go.
And it is, and there it is. The Tower of London again. And that's all she wrote now.
No.
Burridge has just kicked out.
I thought Burridge were going to stand up then. I'm like, what the hell?
I cannot offhand think of anybody.
I've never seen it myself.
Right, I've got the full like pay-per-view list now, so we're going to have a look after.
The beating after a Tower of London.
All right.
I can't recall anybody kicking out.
He'll have a name. It'll have a hardcore name or something.
Fight for the future.
Back to the vertical base.
No. Be like Weekend of Extreme or something.
The Irish whip, reversal. Burridge down.
Was it after Resurrection?
Yeah, this is the one after Resurrection. So it'll be in a couple of years after. I think it was after Gauntlet wasn't running it for a bit. Oh.
8 or 9. Short arm lariat for the 2.
I'm sure it counts to 3 then.
I said 3, but it wasn't 3.
I don't think there's a person sat in this building who could pick a winner right now.
The referee can call for 3 or not afterwards. He might have hit the map, but
yeah,
I've got no problem with that. As long as you don't make it a constant thing, I suppose.
Lariat after lariat, and now McGuinness is ascending the turnbuckles.
You never see McGuinness do that much.
Delivering a blow to the head, followed by the European uppercut.
What's that? What, I'll go off the top?
Heading towards
the
top. And this is
look at this.
This is make or break here.
Gosh.
This could be a big mistake for Burridge.
Oh no, it's make or break.
He's trying to escape.
He's trying to get away from there.
That's
McGuinness.
Thing is, he needs to get closer, not further away.
Oh,
lovely.
And the lariat from the middle row has decapitated.
I look like I'm
Darren
praying in the
Burridge.
background.
The hook of the leg.
1, 2.
Oh!
No.
Greg will not die.
A miracle is happening.
Pun intended.
before our very eyes.
It's just a shame that the audience is a bit quiet.
And Darren Burridge
Yeah.
again has
I'm
kicked
I
out.
don't think you
pretty
can
sure
find
it
out
wasn't
exactly how many people are there, can you?
Darren Burridge,
Nah.
invincible.
And there-
Oh, they have to be
I don't think it's one of the better
Ooh.
crowds, but we'll definitely be in a few 800 or something. Probably over 1,000. I don't know.
That one. Them lariats were absolute brutal for McGuinness.
And deciding fall, winning the match, 2 faults to 1. Nigel McGuinness.
Although McGuinness has stood with his hand raised, Burridge.
Yeah, it was good.
I think the true
Really good.
winners tonight,
Really, really good.
Mr. Curtis, are the fans.
Good little tune as well. I'm not. We aren't missing anything, are we? Or,
I can't remember. I don't think so.
I didn't like cut it off because I what happened last time.
I think he probably picks him up and whatnot. But they did a rematch. Yeah, they did an Ironman match, right, at the anniversary event in October. So
Further, could they take it?
Is Darren Burridge invincible?
I mean,
unless I just made that up. They did do an Ironman match, right? Should we check that?
I think so. I know there's a few.
Yeah.
The turnbuckle.
Yeah.
9, 10 lariats, 2 Towers of London.
And that sickening lariat. And McGuinness propels himself off that.
So it should have been the one in October.
Extra force that's required.
I mean, I imagine that was the best, you know, sort of, for lack of a better term, pure wrestler match on that event.
Yeah, the Ironman match for the open weight was actually
I remember that one.
2 months after this.
Yeah, so that's the anniversary event. That was the one I was thinking of. I couldn't remember this one.
Exactly.
But it was pretty good.
5 minutes as well.
Yeah. Was it 45 minutes? Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think Burridge is on this planet. And a show of respect in there as these two gladiators have basically killed each other.
When I think of that, though, I always think of the Code of Honor thing from Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Followed by a vicious maneuver. That's an unbelievable.
I thought we were going to have to clothesline in them again.
Should have. I think when you look on that side, yeah, because of the way the building is, when you look on that side, where the hard camp's facing, unfortunately, I don't think there's as many fans as these behind the camera or to the right of that shot.
What do you think?
Anyway, it was interesting to see. Again, I'm sorry if I went on a bit about the production and stuff like that. It's a bit too much, but the match was great. I thought as I say, it's not a knock, but I thought the first fall was kind of atypical, you know, back and forth, you know, testing out the waters, which is fine. But you know what you'd expect from a sort of baby versus baby match when they're both technicians. But it was good. But it got interesting for me from the second fall. Those lariats. I mean, the most dangerous thing in that match. What do you think, Liam? I mean, you talk about wrestling today, and if you think that people go too far, you can see there that the most dangerous stuff was probably Nigel's lariats. I would have said.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing silly. There was nothing where they were setting up, you know, a spot or anything. It looked like it was all called in the ring as well, which is always better in my opinion. But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, and the one thing I like about it as well is like this is like your typical British thing. No fancy stuff and stuff like that. Just straight, you know, wrestling straight, you know, beating the shit out of each other, and I like that.
Yeah, because you could be, you know, people talk about the one, you know, the scientific wrestlers of old or the technical wrestlers, but you know, that doesn't mean that they're not gonna, you know, have those hard shots, and that's what you were getting as the match went on, and but there was nothing, you know, dangerous. There was nothing convoluted. There was no, it was a safe match, but it still looked very believable in places and very good.
And it turns out, I mean, these guys face each other quite a few times. Like, so you mentioned the Ironman match. Even like Desmond Wolf again did the Intentions in 2010. So these guys know each other pretty well.
Yeah. So that would have been, was that the second match they ever had then? I'm guessing.
So the Ironman match was obviously So let's do this right. So the first one was 2006 Fight Club. Then it was the best 2 out of 3 falls which we just watched. Then it was the Ironman match which we just like watched. Then there was I think there's a tag team one somewhere. But so it was about 3 or 4 times they faced each other in one PW.
Yeah, so it was one of those sort of mutual respect feuds. So kind of like your Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero matches in ECW and stuff. But yeah, no, that's fine. I liked it. Good. It's great, Nigel. And as you said, you know, Greg's, you know, massively underrated by a significant portion of fans, I think.
Yeah. I also love the fact that we were looking beyond the match. Like I said, we were picked up on the crowd, the production and stuff like that. And these are little things I look for, you know, when you're watching stuff back.
It hasn't aged that well, no, I don't think. Because, you know, I think technology and stuff, you don't realise, because I think the older you get, you don't realise how much things have changed. And It's really weird because 2007 to me doesn't feel like that long ago, but in reality, it was, because the things you can do on your phone now, as I keep hearing, you can make a movie on your phone pretty much. And I've just looked at the latest edit that Wrestling in Newcastle have done for Settle the Score, and production wise, that looks better and it's slicker than that footage of 1PW. Obviously, that footage from 1PW standard definition, but they'll have spent a lot more on their production at that time to be able to get that to even that standard. And the way the venue's lit as well, as I was talking about, the way the camera's placed, just the way it looks, it's kind of it looks kind of grungy, not in a good way though. It's not. It's weird because you think at the time that you're 2 steps away from WWE production, when in reality you know when yeah. And that match is probably on the Wrestling Channel at one point, but I do worry the amount of people that might have seen that and switched it off just because of the production, which is a shame. Because a good match should be able. It doesn't matter what the production is if you get engrossed in the match, and I was at times, and hopefully anyone who sees this goes back and watches it and appreciates what happens in the ring, because ultimately that's all that matters. Let's forget about the production. I know I'm picking up on that because I haven't seen that since it happened. I don't think I probably never watched the DVD. Being honest with yourself, because that's one event I really cannot remember, but it was good to see again.
100%. It's also great, like I said, how far wrestling's come. I mean, like I said, the production thing's key. I mean, it's social media is obviously a big part as well now. Do you know what I mean? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, pros and cons. It's just different. I think it's a cop-out answer, but it's the right answer. There's things that I did prefer in some ways back then. It all sort of been too out in the open now, and I don't just mean like kayfabe. I just mean the fact that the way wrestling is, and it is much easier to get involved with, which is, as I say, both pros and cons, but it also brings in people who maybe shouldn't be involved. And I'm sure there's an argument. Some people will say, well, 1PW should never have been involved, given some of the things that happened and stuff. But let's look back at the talent that they did use, because it was top class for the most part. I think some of the best wrestlers that have ever been worked in that promotion, and I'd certainly put Nigel McGuinness in that category. And to say Greg did great hanging with him, and they had a great match and a great feud by all accounts. I'd love to see. We should do that maybe in the future one day, Liam. We'll try and dig out that Iron Man match maybe down the road some point. But yeah, pros and cons. Social media didn't exist then. There was only MySpace, which doesn't really count. It was all a bit silly, wasn't it? Just making your page, and but I remember making graphics for my page on MySpace and stuff. That's about as far as it went back then.
I wonder if it is actually on the same channel, so I'll probably try and dig that out. Yeah, we'll definitely watch it.
Dig that out.
Yeah, because it's, like I said, it's power of social media now and stuff like that. So to wrap up, obviously today's show, Steve, any final thoughts for obviously what we've watched?
No, just it was for people who are comparing it to what they might see today. I don't think that's fair. I think for what it was great. I think there was a lot of things that maybe younger wrestlers now can learn from. A lot of I would show them particularly that first fall, the sort of back and forth, with the mat wrestling and the chain wrestling and stuff, because that stuff, it never gets old. You can win an audience over with that. I don't care what anybody says. And, it's a good match to show people if they think wrestling of today is just a stunt show. It really doesn't have to be, not to get on my soapbox and stuff, but yeah, I hope people enjoy it and by all means, you know, you can message me about it if I'm way off the mark there. I thought it was a good match. You know, it's probably the best wrestling match, let's say, on that event. Just looking at that card, I might be wrong though. Maybe you should watch the rest now.
Yeah, we definitely should, stuff like that. Stevie, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show, and thank you so much for taking time to watch this match with us.
Anytime, Liam.
Not a problem. So, as always, you know, I mean, let's plug some stuff. Anything you want to plug, man?
At the moment, you know, if you want to watch modern day indie wrestling, obviously there's a Wrestling in Newcastle update. Their full events on YouTube. Check that out. Check out Inside the Ropes magazine, which I write for. Talking about in the next issue. It's not quite out yet. It's the one with Hulk Hogan on the cover. I've covered All Japan game for the Super Nintendo. This is a bit of history about that. But aside from that, that's it. It'd be great to hear from people who've watched this match. Really, if you want to message me and talk about it, talk about other 1PW stuff. My memory's shot to bits. I can't remember a lot of stuff from the 2000s, but seeing that back, and I'm sure we'll watch more in the near future, Liam, definitely brings back memories.
100%. I've always wanted to do a show based on the 1PW stuff, but it's like, the thing is with 1PW now is that because there's so much, like, let's say history, some people don't feel comfortable talking about it.
I don't mind. I think, you know, if we just, you know, focus on the in-ring mostly and look at it as a historical document, maybe, I think that'll be fine. There's a lot of for all the sins and stuff that, you know, there's a lot of great memories. You know, a lot of people I met through there, like, you know, like I've talked about earlier with Nigel's card tricks and whatnot. So, and obviously Greg. So it'd be great to. We definitely should do the tag match that I suggested, and I'll say no more there because I don't want to give it away. But yeah,
we'll definitely get it booked in and stuff like that. We'll obviously wrap up today's show again, Stevie. Thank you so much. Well, and one thing I will say, I will see you obviously in November for Grand Slam 2.
Oh, that's months away, but.